Hello again, everybody. My name is Mike Petralia, episode 246. This is of Patriots Beat on the CLNS Media Network. Find us at www.clnsmedia.com. Follow us on Twitter at CLNS Media. And, of course, also for all your football news, follow me at Trags, Trags, and at Patriots CLNS. You can also give us a follow at Facebook on facebook.com/CLNS Media. My pleasure to welcome back to the program for the first time in a while, too long of a time actually, Miguel Benzan of Pat's Cap. Let's check out your number right now, Miguel. What is the number?
11.8 million, just to keep it round.
Okay.
And after the Patriots signed the 3 draft picks that have unsigned, the 2 first rounders and the second round pick, Duke Dawson, will go down to 9.1 million. The signing bonuses, proration of the undrafted free agents that I don't know about, are not going to have a material impact on that number. So let's just say after they finish signing the draft picks is $9.1 million for now.
And of course, you can follow Miguel at Pat's Cap. At Pat's Cap on Twitter. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to bring up your number just to be specific. Right now, as we record this, it's 11,828,579. I want to get right into it, Miguel, and talk about the one player I think on the roster that everybody wonders about his salary going forward and whether or not he is going to get paid, and that's none other than the quarterback, Tom Brady. And I want to get from your perspective, which is a highly informed perspective, and that's why we're doing this podcast right now. What would it take to redo Tom Brady's contract and make him happy to, let's say make him a $25 million a year quarterback? What would it take to get that done?
The easiest way, Mike, is for him to ask Giselle for a couple more years. Because, okay, let's for example, I'm looking at, let's say you want to pay him $25 million a year for the next 2 years. That's $50 million in cash. All right? And he already has, over the next 2 years, he got $14 million in signing bonus proration.
Right.
50 plus 14 is $64 million. All right? So let's say you give him a $30 million bonus this year. All right? And then his salaries for 2018 and 2020 come up to $20 million. So I'm going to do 8 this year and 12 next year. His cap number would be for 2018 would be $30 million. His cap number for 2019 would be $34 million.
Wow.
All right? So that's an increase. His cap number is currently right now at $22 million. That's an increase of $8 million for 2018 and $12 million for 2019. All right? So if you want to pay Tom Brady what he's worth,
right.
All right.
Exactly why I'm asking you the question.
Okay, for just 2 years, the 2 years remaining in the deal, you're talking about you got to cut some other players on the team right now, or do something they haven't hardly ever do, which is push out, convert salary into signing bonus and convert most of Stephon Gilmore's salary into a signing bonus.
Okay, let me stop you right there, Miguel.
Yeah,
why don't
they do that?
Yeah, why don't they do that?
Because for example, if you did that for Stephon Gilmore, all right?
Right.
So at the end of the year, at the end of his contract, his cap number is going to be so high, all right, that it's not going to be likely that he's going to be worth that money, all right, his cap number. So then you're going to cut him, and then you just increase the dead money of doing that. All right. For example, when he signed that deal, I was surprised he got the deal. All right. But now he proved me wrong, but he's probably worth the money. All right. But if you increase his cap number until 2021, all right. Right now it's $15.6 million. So if you convert his salary into signing bonus, that means it increases that money to about $18 million. How likely, Mike, is it going to be that he's going to be worth $18 million on the cap in 2021? Mm-hmm. Not likely.
No.
So then you're going to increase the dead money. I'm saying that's why teams don't do it. That's why the Patriots don't do it. There are teams who always do it, like the Steelers, the Saints, blah blah blah. The Patriots hardly ever do that. Since under the new CBA, all right, I can count one time they did it. There was Devin McCourty, 2016. I still haven't figured it out. The only reason I think they did it was they thought they would have more players on IR or more players on injury reserve. So that's the only reason I could think they could do it, but they don't hardly ever do it.
Okay, what's interesting to me right now, and I don't know how much stock you put in this, Tom Brady is ranked 5th among all quarterbacks in the NFL on base salary rankings. Of course, Kirk Cousins, who got the unthinkable 3 years guaranteed at $85 million, I believe it was. Go ahead.
So the problem was what they do with this, what agents do is use the age, and I saw they use the new money average, right? Because Tom Brady in 2016 added 2 more years to his deal and got $41 million more money than he was originally scheduled. Tom Brady's new money API is $20.5 million, all right? But actually, he never really, from 2016 to 2019, that's 4 years. He's getting $60 million in cash. That's $15 million a year. That's what we should be talking about. $15 million a year for the greatest player of all time. I'm sorry. That's a discount. You know what I'm saying? That's not what he's really worth. I know that he's among the oldest players and the oldest quarterback in the league. But let's go from 15 to 25. That's what I think is the discount. And that's what his numbers should be been about. I'm saying, and not to revisit the whole Jimmy G thing.
Sure, but go ahead.
But this is for what I'm saying. That's why he was never going to get traded. In 2013, he agreed to take less money than he should have. 2016, that's why the Patriots won 2 Super Bowls because he agreed to take less money. Folks, Patriots had a big time advantage cap wise. Because Brady was taking less money than he was worth. That's why we won the Super Bowl. Main reason we won the Super Bowl. That's why teams won rookie contracts, like you see with the Eagles, with Wentz, and Goff with the Rams. Why they can build teams around it because they have their quarterback on cheap rookie deals. That just happens that we happen to have the greatest player on the team of all time on a cheap deal.
So
they weren't going to. And Robert Kraft asked Brady to do it. But you just can't, in my opinion, ask a guy to take less money and then use the fact that he did take less money against him to trade it. Because he had signed in 2016 a deal that paid him a $60 million signing bonus. He's not getting traded this year because, the dead money hit would be too big.
Yeah, the dead cap, if I'm reading this correct, the dead cap this year would be $28 million.
Well, that's because because his $14 million salary became fully guaranteed the third day of the league year. They could have traded him before that. If they had traded him before the salary became guaranteed, it would have been $14 million cap it. Let's say in 2016, he instead of getting a $28 million signing bonus,
right,
he got a $50 million signing bonus. The dead money would have been $25 million this year, instead of 14. All right. And if they had spread it out over 5 instead of doing a 2-year extension, did a 3-year extension, it would have been $30 million a year. A $30 million dead money. Sorry, excuse me, folks.
So let me ask you this. Let's say Robert Kraft comes to Tom Brady and says, okay, we want you signed through 2020. And that means he's signed currently through 2019. And the 2020 year, he's an unrestricted free agent. What would it take, in your estimation, to make him paid and remunerated properly for that one extra year of 2020? What would it take to get that done?
That would take about a deal that would pay him around $70 million over in cash in 3 years. So it's $24 million, right? And you got to be willing. The Patriots got to be willing to eat some dead money in 2020 because Giselle said 2 years. So let's so you got to be able to prepare to eat some dead money in 2020. All right. So I would give him maybe somewhere in a $39 to $44 million signing bonus. All right. You prorate that over the 3 years. You give him a small, so you lower his salary this year to about $2 million. So his cap number stays the same for this year, all right? Then his cap number goes up in 2019 by, let's say, somewhere in the range between $10 to $13 million. All right,
right.
The cap's going to go up, so that he takes up what the cap increase is going to be. Cap going up at $10 million, right? And then you figure out what's going. In 2019, the Patriots are in great cap shape, folks. I mean, they have so much flexibility. They have like very few players that they can walk away from most of the players on the teams they needed to. You know what I'm saying? So they could do things like, to lower cap numbers. Like, you could do something with Gilmore. You could do something with other players. They're in great cap shape in 2019. So now you're getting he has a big number in 2019. He's going to also have a big number in 2020. But if he retires after 2019, boom, you have a dead money hit. And maybe he agrees to, and then you just deal with it, and that gives you 2 years to find the next guy.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. And just taking a look at the 2019 obligations right now, do you look at it that way? Obligations?
Yeah, the obligations. I'm looking at the guys. No matter what, I'm looking at. When I say obligations, for me is I look at the players who get guaranteed money. And right now, the only players who have guaranteed money for 2019 are going to be Isaiah Wynn, Sony Michel, and Duke Dawson. All right? And then the guys who have a lot of signing bonus proration. All right? So that's Gilmore.
Right.
That's Hyde. Everybody else?
Brady has a $7 million signing bonus due him.
So Brady, since we're dealing with him, I'm not really counting him in that conversation.
Sure.
So you got Gilmore, you got McCourty, you got Hightower.
You know who you're not mentioning? And we're going to move on to him shortly?
Yeah. Well, I'm not mentioning because I knew we were talking about him.
That would be Rob Gronkowski, who has a base salary of $9 million in 2019, but no signing bonus due him. There's an option bonus of $2 million. You know what? What the heck? Because it's my own podcast, let's roll right into Rob Gronkowski, Miguel, and talk about what that means. What does the fact that Rob Gronkowski has a $9 million base salary due him in 2019, but no signing bonus? Is it as simple as they could part ways after this season?
They could cut ways with him now. They'll save money on cutting him now. They're not going to do it, but they could, try to trade him. I know that's the big thing what Eric's saying. That option bonus, that to me, that still counts. It's going to still count against the cap. All right, because that's from the deals from 2015 and 2016 when they gave him. He had a $10 million option bonus, and they did him a favor. They paid instead of he was supposed to get $10 million signing bonus proration. Signing bonus. They gave him $4 million up front in one couple months ahead of time, and then they gave him $6 million later.
Right.
Okay, so talking about what they could do with Rob. They could do a tons of things with Rob. The funny thing is, the worst thing he could have done, and Drew Rosenhaus should have slapped his hand for saying this, that he's thinking about retiring, because that just makes making a deal with him hard. Because then you like the same thing with you run with Tom Brady. How far are you willing to extend the man to? And then eat how much dead money you're willing to eat in the future. I'm saying because he's due 19 between this year and 2019. He is due $19 million in cash. All right, that's not a lot for such a dominant force. All right, but the problem is that he agreed to a deal in 2012 that was ridiculously long. He should not.
8 years, $56 million. If I'm remembering correctly, is that right?
Okay, I always think it's 6 years, 50.
It's 6 years. You're right. 6 years, $54 million.
6 years at $54 million.
Right.
Which is why he has a $9 million API. So like since the cap has increased almost 50% by then, since then, his deal right now, if you did the same deal and you just adjusted for the increase in cap, would be about. His cap number would be about $13.3 million. All right, which is what I would think he would should get, because he's the best tight end in the league by far, and he is a dominant receiving option. So he get paid like the top wide receivers are getting out there. So like they're getting 15, 16, 17 million dollars. The fact that he's been hurt so much lowers his value, in my opinion. The fact that he talked about retirement so much has hurt his value. So I wouldn't go out to what he pay him like Antonio Brown or DeAndre Hopkins again. I'd pay him. I'd take a fair deal for him somewhere in it that says $13 to $14 million. Right? But the same thing would happen with Tom Brady. We give him $26 million over the next 2 years. There's no ends, ifs about it. His cap number is going to go up. Right? So you need the value of to maybe lower his cap number, keep the number the same. You're going to need that extra year at the end, and that's what they'll have to do. And you could do that, and just be able to eat some dead money in 2020. Or the other thing you could do, and I don't think I'll be surprised they do it. They can easily for them reach another incentive-laden deal with him, because you can make it like, hey, you get $5 million if the Patriots win the Super Bowl. Or if you get more money, if you caught more passes than you did last year, or more touchdowns, score more touchdowns than you did last year, or more receiving yards, something like that. It's easy for the Patriots and Drew Rosenhaus to create an incentive-laden deal. It's just that he would have to do better than he did last year. And he had a pretty good year because he was an All-Pro. You can't have an All-Pro incentive, because then that'd be considered likely to be earned because he earned it last year. So you got to think about the incentives that he didn't earn and use them, base it off of that.
Speaking with Miguel Benzan of Pat's Cap, one of the
and Boston Sports Journal.
And Boston Sports Journal. Thank you for adding that in, Miguel. I want to tell you all about a new wellness brand for men. It's called Hims. 66% of men lose their hair by the age of 35. Thing is, when you start to notice hair loss, it's simply too late. Remember, it's easier to keep the hair you have than to replace the hair you've lost. Do you want a bald spot to pop up, or do you want to do something about it first? There's a solution, everybody. It's called 4hims.com, a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, and sexual wellness for men. Thanks to science, baldness can now be optional. Hims connects you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss, well-known generic equivalents to name-brand prescriptions to help you keep your hair. Order now. My listeners get a trial month of Hims for just $5 today, right now, while supplies last. See the website for full details. This would cost hundreds if you went to the doctor or a pharmacy. Go to 4hims.com/trags. That's FORHIMS.com/TRAGS. 4hims.com/trags. Okay, speaking with Miguel Benzan of Pat's Cap and Boston Sports Journal.com. Miguel, let's get back to Rob Gronkowski and Tom Brady as we wrap it up here. What would it take to get both of these guys signed and keep them happy? Because all we've heard here in the offseason is how both of them are unhappy, either unhappy, not appreciated financially, or both. How do you get both of them done?
Cash. Rob Kraft is going to be spending some money this year. He spent over 100% of the cap last year. He's going to be probably, to make them happy, he's going to spend over 100% of the cap this year. Bottom line, cash talks. And when it said appreciated, and when Tom Brady said that, in the NFL, when the players talks about appreciation, they're always talking about the money. 99% of the time, they're always talking about the money. I mean, I know he might feel that way, but that's his own. I mean, he said he made a mistake agreeing to 2013 and 2016. He made a mistake by that, by agreeing to take a less money deals. Rob Gronkowski made a mistake by signing his deal in 2012, such a long deal.
Yeah, let me stop you there. What's interesting to me, Miguel, is the fact that these are two of the most high-profile players on the Patriots, arguably the two highest-profile players with very reputable agents in Drew Rosenhaus for Rob Gronkowski, of course, and Don Yee for Tom Brady. And you're essentially saying, look, when you look back at the sliding scale, you look back at the salary cap structure in the NFL, they would have been better off pushing for more money back then.
I would have. Okay, for Tom Brady, I see why he did it. He doesn't need the money. He's got a wife who makes more money than him. And at the time in 2013, the cap was going going up very slowly. All right, so I could buy the argument. Yeah, we can't afford to pay you 18% of the cap, and no player since then no quarterback has gotten 18% of the cap since then. All right, I could buy that. In 2016, the cap was going up by $10 million a year, and he still agreed to a lesser deal. You know what I'm saying? So that's on him. That's on him.
Yep.
And Drew Rosenhaus wanted to have that $9 million API. He wanted to have showed out there to get more clients. That he got the highest paid tight end. He wanted that money. All right. He wanted that $9 million, so he agreed to have 6 years. But then we hear from Mike Lombardi. I don't know that Rob Gronkowski's asked for a new deal every year since then, which means he made a mistake. By doing that, he's admitting a mistake.
Yep. That
he made a mistake in 2012. I'm not breaking new ground by saying that he made a mistake, because if it's true what Mike Lombardi is saying, that his actions are saying that he made a mistake in 2012. His actions is a concession that he made a mistake in 2012. I mean, the fact that people bring up like Trey Burton is making $8 million a year, right? Well, Trey Burton, if you went back to 2012, he'd be getting $5 million a year. You know what I'm saying? It's the only part of the reason that people like to say is like, all these players caught up to Rob Gronkowski. They caught up to him because the cap went up so much over the 6 years since he signed the deal. He shouldn't have signed. I mean, every time a great player, like signs a long-term deal, and they always get the market passes them by. It just happens.
Let's go down the rest of the roster and take a look at. I want you to give me a couple of names that stick out in terms of players that are on really good team-friendly deals, or other players who might be looking for money going forward. Any names?
He's looking for money. Looking for money? No. But they have so many free agents this coming at the end of this year. They got to do something. They got to sign some of these free agents.
If you had to prioritize,
the most team-friendly deal is all. I mean, it sounds weird to say it because he came off his offer injury. Is Julian Edelman? I mean, he's got a great deal for the Patriots, but that's what he wants to be a Patriot. That's a great team-friendly deal. Everybody else, man, when I look at this roster, the only player I say that's like, man, how the heck is he getting his cap? I think his cap number is way too high. Is Dwayne Allen? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I still, and I still feel comfortable I would put a wager that he will not be on the Week 1 roster at $5 million.
No,
something's going to happen.
Right, and I'm just looking at his numbers right now. $4.5 million base salary, no signing bonus, but a $500,000 roster bonus. But again, you would save $5 million on the cap if he's not on the opening day roster. Is that correct?
Yeah, $5 million if he's on the roster. Yeah, and they could cut him with no dead money. That, you know what I'm saying? So Rob Gronkowski, his talk, all his behavior that he has, in my opinion, has saved the, hey, Dwayne Allen, we need to talk about pay cut then.
So in other words, the uncertainty of Rob Gronkowski is keeping Dwayne Allen essentially on the roster right now. Dwayne Allen, go ahead.
At that cap
number.
At that cap number. I could see them working a deal where he takes a pay cut and maybe gets a chance to earn some of the money back with some incentives. But I was surprised. I'm surprised. The only reason I think that he still has a $5 million cap number is Rob Gronkowski.
That makes total sense to me. And, obviously the Patriots are hedging their bets smartly so. I mean, they don't want to be left holding the bag. And, we say this, and the irony of that is, of course, Tom Brady is, if anything happens to Tom Brady, it's Brian Hoyer time. And Brian Hoyer has, a very reasonable cap number, correct?
Oh, yeah. I mean, This could be it's good. Yeah, he's got. I don't even think about Brian Hoyer in the not making the team, whatever. Even with Danny Allen on the team. You asked me about who else. I'm just thinking. Everybody else, I think that the cap numbers is great. I mean, it's feasible.
And it looks like a very well-structured financial roster because no other numbers, just going down the list here, really stick out to you. The Stephon Gilmore,
maybe except for Cordell Patterson, he's got a big number for a guy who might just be just on special teams. He's got $3.25 million.
Right.
On that, okay, so I'd say Allen, Cordell Patterson's are the ones who are probably getting overpaid. The guys who probably are looking to get more money.
Well, I mean, the thing that the Patriots have, you mentioned Shaq Mason.
Yeah.
He's got a $2 million hit, and, he projects right as a starting guard for this team going forward, starting offensive lineman, and a very reliable one.
I love watching him play. I swear. I just love watching. He's such a road grader. You know what I'm saying?
How do you think you would do in the bargaining room with these players and their agents?
Me?
Yeah.
I would after asking most of them for autograph. I do all right. I'm looking for a fair deal. It's like when you see me post out numbers, I'm not looking for a team friendly deal. I'm not looking for a player friendly deal. I'm just going for a fair deal that the player would be happy, not going to regret the decision that they signed with me after 2 years, and the team is not going to say, Miguel, you screwed up after 2 years. I'm just looking for a fair deal. Like for example, I would with Rob and Tom, I'm not because I would say to this Rob, you talked about retirement, you talked looking about the WEE, whatever the restaurant is, right?
WWE.
And you talked about the movies, and you signed this deal 6 years. Saying, you're a great offensive dominant weapon, but I can't take a chance of paying. I can't reasonably say that you should get $17 million like Antonio Brown. I'm willing to get you 13, and let's go from here. You know what I'm saying? Let's work from there. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't. And one of the things, Mike, I want the deal done within an hour. So none of this lowball offer at the beginning, and wait till the last minute, wait till the person reaches the agency to make my best offer. I want to make my best offer right away, and let's just get it done. You know, I would do it in person. I know those guys can't afford to do all negotiating with 90 people in person. I would do it in person, and let's get it done.
All right, Miguel, how can people follow you once again?
Oh, you want to follow me on Twitter at PatsCap. I write for the BostonSportsJournal.com, folks. And I'll tell you right now, I do think, and I said it before, I don't know if I said it on the last time with Mike, I do think they're going to win the Super Bowl before Brady retires. I do think. They're set up to win.
I cannot disagree with that. I think the Patriots have one more run left in them, and I think Tom Brady and Bill Belichick both know that. It'll be fascinating to see what happens after the upcoming 2018 season. I want to thank everybody for downloading today's Patriots Beat. I want to once again thank our terrific guest, Miguel Benzan from PatsCap and BostonSportsJournal.com. You can follow him on Twitter, as he just mentioned, at PatsCap, PATSCAP. You can also give us a follow at Patriots CLNS and give me a personal follow at Trags, TRAGS. Today's sponsor, forhims.com. For Patriots content manager Mike Alonji, CLNS media executive producer Larry H. Russell, and the founder of the network, Nick Gelso, thanks to everyone who tuned in. This is Mike Petralia, and this has been the Patriots Beat podcast powered by CLNS Media.
What's going on, Pats Nation? This is Marvin Zahn of the CLNS Media Network, and I'm here to tell you right now to check out the CLNS Media New England Patriots postgame show hosted by myself and my co-host, Mr. Mike Nice. And live on CLNS Radio immediately after every single Pats game. Call in at 929-477-2386 toll free to get your voice heard and contribute to the host breakdown and analysis of the latest Patriots contest. We also got the stars and sorries of the day, Twitter posts for the plays of the game, and everything else that is going on with the 5-time Super Bowl champions. Subscribe to CLNS Media New England Patriots postgame show on iTunes and Stitcher, and the best way, download the free CLNS Media Network mobile app for on-demand listening anytime, any place, anywhere.